Dazed and Confused is a short film I made about me and my wife watching The Tree of Life. What the fuck?! Dazed and Confused is a 1993 film directed by Richard Linklater and starring Matthew McConaughey, Ben Affleck, Jason London, Parker Posey, Joey Lauren-Adams, and Sasha Jensen. The film takes place nearly 40 years ago on May 28, 1976, on the last day of school in a suburb of Austin, Texas. Because it takes place in the 1970s, it has a great soundtrack, some great cars, and just a great overall atmosphere. More so than that, though, the movie really seems to encapsulate what it's like to be that age. It has characters that range from around 14 to around 22, 23, and everybody seems really authentic. One of the reasons the movie feels so authentic is that all the actors are around the right age to play those characters, and most of them were unknowns at the time. One of the main characters, Mitch, who plays about a 14 or 15-year-old boy, was actually not even an actor. He was caught walking out of a coffee shop by the director and then cast in the film. So that adds another level of authenticity to it. Another thing that kind of keeps the vibe of realism or authenticity is the fact that the plot isn't really much of one. It is just kind of the last day of school for these characters. And some of them have a little bit of an arc, some of them don't. Some of them are just kind of doing whatever shit, and some of them may make a decision or may have a little bit of a journey throughout the night, and other ones don't. And it's just kind of them being them. And that makes sense. It's just kind of a random day. I mean, it's the last day of school, but it's essentially a random day in these characters' lives. While again, it's not the most intricate plot, it is a very interesting and funny movie. I don't think you'll ever be bored. There are a couple of standouts in the film. Sasha Jensen, who has not been in too much, he was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. But anyway, he is hilarious throughout the movie. Ben Affleck is also great in the movie. He doesn't get enough credit for it. He plays the bully, the asshole bully, like perfectly to a T. The real breakout of the film, though, is Matthew McConaughey, who isn't in it all that much, but steals every scene he's in. The character was actually written even smaller, but they liked Matthew McConaughey's performance so much that they kept expanding the role. On the downside, as I mentioned before, there isn't much of a plot to the movie, which I don't take as a negative. I really like that fact, actually. There are characters that have arcs, there are characters that don't, but it feels like a real night in these people's lives, and it works really well for the film. But I could see how some people might not like that, because, you know, I want to watch a movie because this should be something very interesting and important in these people's lives. And I don't agree with that. To each their own. I think it helps the movie. I could see it being a detriment in some people's eyes. So again, Dazed and Confused has a great soundtrack, has some great performances from some great young actors who have gone on to do a lot of other things, and just feels like a night in these characters' lives, and it feels very authentic and real. Dazed and Confused is rated A+. So being that this movie is mostly about characters who are in high school, name a movie that you really like about high school or people that are in high school. One I really like is the original American Pie. It's equal parts funny and stupid and still very charming. Also has a very good soundtrack, and it's funny. So again, name a high school movie you really like. Make your mark below in the comments section. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. So my Miller High Life shirt is apparently like the most 70s shirt I own. Want to know a secret? This is Miller Lite. Dazed and Confused is a 1993 film starring a vampire, some mud, another vampire, Alyssa Jones or Gwen, T.S. Quint's brother, and that asshole from Fashionable Mail. Dazed and Confused is a 1993 film directed by Richard Linklater and starring Jason London, Matthew McConaughey, Dazed and Confused is a 1993 film directed by Richard Linklater and starring Ben Affleck, Parker Posey, Jason London, Joey Lauren-Adams, Sasha Jensen. Fuck. Ben Affleck is also great in the movie. He doesn't get enough credit for it. He plays the bully, that fucking dickhead asshole. Kind of opposites there.